So it would seem I need to stop trying to camp on Center Hill Lake. This is the second time I've camped here, and the second time that nothing has gone to plan. The first time was like 2 years ago. I'll put a link to that video up in the corner and down below in the description, but nothing went to plan that time. Admittedly, most of it was my fault that time, but still, nothing went to plan. And today's my second time camping on Center Hill Lake, and again, nothing's going to plan. And this time, I don't think most of it's my fault. So first off, I wanted to go to a bike park, which this is a free bike park and they somewhat frequently close. And I checked it yesterday and it was closed. So I thought there was a chance it'd be closed today, so I did have a plan B already. My plan B was to go to Cumberland Caverns, which I was very excited about. Never been there, but heard a lot of good things. On their website, if you try and book a wild cave tour, it won't let you book unless you have at least 2 people. But the walking tours will let you book with 1 person. So I was like, all right, I'll do a walking tour, but I'll sign up once I get there, since I don't know how bad traffic's gonna be. I don't know exactly when I'll get there. I did end up stopping at Rock Island on the way there, Rock Island State Park, because I could see I was gonna have to wait like 2 hours between when I got there and when the next tour was. So I love Rock Island, so stopped, stretched my legs a bit, looked at the waterfalls. I had considered going down to Great Falls, which I hiked I think 3 years ago when I camped at Rock Island, and I loved it. There was like water running down the steps and just water everywhere and huge rocks, and it was like everything I love. But it was closed this time, so I couldn't go down, which no big deal. Walked around a bit, went to Cumberland Caverns, tried to sign up. They're like, well, there's it just you? And I said, yeah. They're like, oh, well, you need at least 2 people. I was like, well, on your site, the Wild Cave says you need 2, but you can sign up as 1 person for your walking tours. And they said that they won't let you do 1 person due to safety concerns, which I'm not entirely sure what they'd be considering. It's a guided tour. But yeah, they said I couldn't do it because of safety concerns. And they said that, like, if you sign up as 1 person on the website, it's like a on hold, like they might not even run it if you sign up on the website. So then I went to Window Cliffs, which I think probably 3 years ago when I was like, camping at Rock Island, I saw a billboard or something. I was like, that's really pretty, I want to go there. So I was like, all right, I got some time, go to Window Cliffs. Get there, and that's closed. And apparently it will be closed for like the entire time I'm here. So I was originally going to do that on my last day, but I won't get to do that at all. So guess I'll have to come back out here again at some point, which there's some awesome waterfalls around here, so I'm totally okay with coming back, but I would have liked to be able to do that this time because I was planning on it. So even though I love traveling, I hate driving. I just hate being in cars in general. I spent so much extra time driving today, wasted time, wasted gas, all that. Finally just came straight to the boat launch where I launched for where I'm camping tonight. And it's a good thing I did get here kind of early because the campsite's not where it said it should be. Like recreation.gov has a dot on the map, and the dot is completely off. The campsite's on the opposite side of the river. Luckily, some local people helped me find it because I was about ready to go on to like plan E at this point and try to book a night at Rock Island State Park. I did message my boyfriend through my Zolio. I was like, hey, can you see how much it would be and like if you can book a site for tonight? And he said he couldn't, but he was gonna try and call and see if he could book one, but then I found the site, so we're good now. But it's been quite the hectic day, and it's only day 1. I cannot for the life of me find this campsite. It's somewhere here, but the entire shoreline looks like this. Like, you can barely get into any of it because there's all these logs and stuff in the way. And then there's no flat spots, there's all trees. I'm gonna keep trying, but I don't know what I'm gonna do at this point. Like, this is what the entire shoreline looks like. And I can't get off and walk because it's so deep here. I'm hoping the next 2 days go better. It's been quite a hectic day and I have like nothing to show for it. Oh, I did see some cool wildlife while I was out. While I was at Rock Island, I saw a blue crayfish. I don't know how well he showed up on camera, but I'm hoping he showed up. And then while I was looking for my campsite, I saw 2 beavers, but I only got them on camera for like 2 seconds. So this is the view I have from my campsite. Those dead trees are where recreation.gov said the campsite was. The sun went down over the hill and it instantly went from being like pretty warm to kind of chilly. So I don't normally get like granola backpacking meals. If I want granola for breakfast, I usually either make my own or get like a bigger thing of granola like from the grocery store. But this was on sale for $5. That is more expensive than what I could like get it otherwise. I figured it'd be worth it to try it out once. It smells really good. It smells like berries. So this dry creek bed is like right next to my site. The water level's pretty high right now. I wonder how high it actually has to get for water to flow through this. I am not looking forward to changing out of my cozy camp shoes into my paddling shoes that are still wet from yesterday. I spent most of my full day camping paddleboarding to Fancher Falls. This was about a 10-mile paddle round trip, so I did make it its own dedicated video and just included a few clips here. If you'd like to watch the full Fancher Falls video, I'll link to it and a few other camping trips I've mentioned in this video down in the description. As you may be able to tell, I am back at camp now. I ate a little bit, now I'm just kind of relaxing for a few. I feel absolutely exhausted. I haven't done much paddling lately where it's been cold, so this is like my first big paddle of the year. I think technically my paddle to the campsite yesterday was my first actual paddle of the year, and that was like a mile. Really feeling it, but it's only like 4 p.m. and I want to just like sit around at camp and do nothing. So I'll probably rest for a bit and then go out and explore a bit more on the paddleboard just to kind of keep myself busy till it's time for bed. So the original plan for the afternoon was to go to Burgess Falls, which I think is only like 2 or 3 miles round trip from the campsite, so not ridiculous. But the two that helped me find my campsite yesterday suggested that I explore down Cane Creek. That's where they were coming out of. They said it's really pretty. There's a bunch of like little waterfalls, so I'll probably go explore that way for maybe an hour or two and then come back tonight. And then tomorrow morning I'll go see Burgess Falls first thing, and then I'll come back, pack up my campsite, head back to the car, and then I want to hit Twin Falls, which I've hiked there probably 3 years ago now. I camped at Rock Island State Park, absolutely loved it. There are a bunch of really awesome trails, and they're not super long or anything, there's water everywhere. The trail down to Great Falls had like water running down the steps, and there's just a ton of really big waterfalls, and I love it. But I haven't paddled to Twin Falls before, so I'm gonna try that. From my understanding, if you can get all the way to the falls or not depends on like current and like how high the water is, so we'll see how far I can actually get. Even if I can't paddle all the way there, I should still be able to like walk the rest of the way. So excited for that. Yeah, that's pretty much the plan for the rest of the weekend. So I realized that I never actually gave you a tour of the campsite last night after struggling to find it. So this little area is where you can park your paddleboard, kayak, canoe, whatever you have. And then you walk up this little path. And it's not a huge area, so you probably can't do like a ton of people here, but it does work for a small group. So there's a little fire pit and I got my chair set up next to it overlooking the river. And then I got my tent there. It's not super flat here, so if you like to hammock camp, that might be a good option. It's flat enough here. It's kind of the flattest spot that there is, except for literally right next to the fire pit. And I considered putting it there, but if I do end up having a fire, I feel like that's way too close. Not a huge site, but it is right on the river, which I love. And it definitely works for solo or a small group. I forgot to mention as I was giving my little tour, but this site is also surrounded by poison ivy, just in case anyone watching is planning their own trip here. Good morning, everyone. It is the last day of my camping trip. I'm going to start it off with a quick paddle down to Burgess Falls. I think it's like just over 2 miles round trip from the campsite. And I haven't seen anyone go by yet. So unless someone got a really early start, I should be the first one there today. It gets really windy on this river, so I'm very happy to be out when it's calm. It's so pretty. Here it was so low, I had to get out by that powerhouse up there and walk. As I had mentioned previously in this video, I had planned on going to Rock Island after packing up camp in order to paddle to Twin Falls, but on my paddle from my campsite back to my car, the wind was at paddling is no longer fun levels. I debated for a few minutes if it would be worth it to try paddling at Rock Island or not, and ended up deciding I did not want to drive an extra hour or so out of my way just to find out the wind was too strong to enjoy paddling. On my way home, I questioned a bit whether or not I made the right decision. After all, just because it was windy where I was, didn't necessarily mean Rock Island was just as bad. But when I got home, which was also quite windy, I checked the windy app for the rough time I had been at Center Hill Lake, and it said that there had been 15-mile-per-hour winds on the river I had been on, and 17-mile-per-hour winds at Rock Island, which did make me feel a bit better about my decision. This just means I'll have to plan another camping trip to the area to paddle the Twin Falls and hike Window Cliffs. I'll leave you with some footage from when I hiked to Twin Falls a couple years ago, and I think you'll understand why I want to paddle there. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to be always adventuring.